Hello, welcome to TTV News on TayNinhTV radio and television station. Ladies and gentlemen, on February 7, the leadership delegations of TayNinh City, led by Mr. Lê Minh Thế, Secretary of the City Party Committee, visited and wished Happy New Year to the City Military Commands and the City Medical Center.
Mr. Lê Minh Thế encouraged, acknowledged, and appreciated the results achieved by the units in recent times. At the same time, he recommended that officers, soldiers, doctors, and nurses continue to strictly carry out their duties of combat readiness, raise the spirit of vigilance, ensure security and order, and perform well medical examination and treatment to people enjoying and celebrated safely. On this occasion, the delegation also presented its units with a gift and wished everyone have a joyful and happy holiday and a successful completion of their duties. Entering the Spring 2024 festival season, in order for festivals to take place safely, the Department of Grassroots Culture, Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism recommends that localities with large key festivals need to monitor strictly for crowded festivals. This unit emphasizes that localities must ensure that festival activities are conducted solemnly in accordance with traditional rituals and values of Vietnamese cultural identity, implementing solutions to eliminate or replace customs that are no longer consistent with the chain of integration and development. Localities are required to inspect, examine, and supervise before, during, and after festivals, promptly prevent and strictly handle violations and acts of taking advantage of monuments, festivals, and beliefs for personal gain, superstitious activities, and gambling, inciting violence, circulating and trading illegal cultural products.
In order to show the concerns of the Party Committee, Board of Directors and Executive Committee of TayNinh Radio and Television Station, grassroots trade unions for officials and workers during the new spring TTV11 half-a-year and spring meeting for the years of Dragon 2024. On the afternoon of February 7, these events were attended by Mr. Vũ Xuân Trường, Secretary of the Party Committee, Directors of TayNinh Radio and Television Station, Mr. Võ Văn Quý, Deputy Secretary of the Party Committee, Deputy Directors of TayNinh Radio and Television Station.
Mr. Vũ Xuân Trường sent his gratitude to officers and workers in 2023 for joining hands to overcome difficulties and complete assignments. He also sent good wishes to officers and workers to continue joining hands to conquer new goals in 2024, bringing TTV11's position further and further. On this occasion, Mr. Vũ Xuân Trường and Mr. Võ Văn Quý received medals for the cause of culture, sports and tourism of the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism. The director of Vietnam Television also signed a certificate of merit for the program production technical department. TayNinh Radio and Television Trade Union also rewarded participants in the Beautiful Living Forum with the theme TTV11's position. Besides, officials and workers also received lucky money.
Continuing the program with other information, from February 1st to 7th, the Departments of Industry and Trade have decided and coordinated with relevant agencies to work with businesses that register to participate in stabilizing the markets of some essential goods and some markets in the province for the years of Dragon.
From the beginning of the fourth quarter of 2023, many businesses and business establishments in the province have proactively implemented plans to connect with supply sources and negotiate with suppliers to increase production in emergency situations, needed holiday, as purchasing power increases. Through field surveys, the source of goods spotted in the province, that especially essential goods, is abundant and diverse in variety for people. In wholesale markets, traditional markets, and supermarkets, some items such as regular rice, sticky rice, cakes, candy, jam, dry fruits, dry chicken, dry beef, and meat fruits such as cows, pigs, chickens have been ordered and stocked by small business to meet customer needs. Up to now, goods in markets, supermarkets, and business establishments are prepared quite richly and diversely with eye-catching designs ready to satisfy customer needs. Businesses that reserve goods commit to not letting shortages of goods occur, ensuring balance between supply and demand, and stabilizing the markets during this Lunar New Year. On February 7, TayNinhTV Provincial Police Detention Center held the 2024 Regional Family Conference. Lieutenant Colonel Nguyễn Thị Hồng Vân, Deputy Warden of the detention camp, announced the results of management and education of people serving sentences at the detention camp. In 2023, there were a number of outstanding internal activities such as receiving and placing 45 prisoners who have decided to serve their sentences at the regional management camp, regularly organizing internal rules education, civic education, and criminal law education, rewarding 14 prisoners for their achievements in studying and working while serving their sentences, considering requests to reduce the length of their recent sentences and granting early conditional release to prisoners, creating an exciting atmosphere and solidarity. They have contributed to building a healthy learning and reforming environment for prisoners. The prisoners expressed their emotions as they were given the opportunity to meet their families before the new year and at the same time thank the prison officers for their care. We partly help the prisoners realize their wrong actions, rest assured to reform so that they can return to their families soon. On February 7, there are nearly 1,900 gifts with a total value of nearly 1 billion Vietnam dong from the program That's Not Far From Home were given by the Labour Confederation of TayNinhTV Province to workers who live far from home. Those with household registration outside the province stay to celebrate it at boarding houses in the province. Each gift includes cash worth 500,000 Vietnam dong, in which a large amount of is focused on giving to workers working in industrial parks under the provincial economic zone trade union, such as An Hoa Industrial Park, Phước Đông Industrial Park, Trang Bang Industrial Park, Linh Trung Ray Export Processing Zone, and the workers are staying at the boarding house in Gò Dầu District and Trang Bang Town. In addition, there were hundreds of gifts given to workers staying in boarding houses in Dương Châu, Bến Cầu, and Châu Thành districts. Attending the ceremony of the visitation, memorial service, and burial service for the remains of Vietnamese volunteer soldiers and experts who died in Cambodia and were brought back to the country in their first phase, the 13th period transition of 2023-2024, there were Mr. Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, Secretary of the Party Central Committee, Head of the Central Propaganda and Training Department, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Member of the Party Central Committee, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Mr. Võ Đức Trong, Standing Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Head of the Steering Committee 515 of TayNinhTV Province, Head of the Organizing Committee of the visitation ceremony. After 78 days of carrying out the mission in the foreign country, two teams K-70 and K-71 searched and collected the remains of 125 martyrs and brought them back to the country. At the visitation ceremony, Mr. Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa rang the bell times, summoned the heroes of the martyrs, and delegates attended the ceremony to burn incense and offer a minute of silence. Remember to thank the martyrs who fought for independence and freedom today. Delegates attending the ceremony performed a memorial ceremony and buried the remains of the martyrs, putting their souls to rest in the heart of Mother Earth. Recently, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, head of the government's Administrative Reform Steering Committee, chaired the 7th meeting to evaluate the results of implementing administrative reform in 2023 and inform directions and tasks in 2024. The meeting was connected online to 63 provinces and centrally run cities. At TayNinhTV Report, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Head of the Provincial Administrative Reform Steering Committee presided. In 2023, the government and the Prime Minister have directed closely and drastically, creating motivation and strong changes in the organization and implementation of administrative reform of the entire administrative system and achieved many important results. Typically, the Prime Minister has approved a plan to reduce and simplify 144 business regulations. The rate of administrative procedure documents resolved on time and early at ministry and branches reached 50.60% and at localities reached 90.75%. The online payments rate on the National Public Service portal in ministry and branches reached over 45% and in localities reached over 26%. In 2024, ministry, branches and localities will continue to promote the review and promulgation of specific practical solutions and create strong breakthroughs to improve the effectiveness of implementing administrative reform tasks assigned by the government. The Prime Minister assigns and seriously deploy solutions to effectively implement the tasks set out in the 2024 Administrative Reform Plan of ministry, agencies and localities.
Ladies and gentlemen, to make springs more colorful flowers are indispensable. In the atmosphere of celebrating the Lunar New Year's of the Dragon in 2024, the gardens in TayNinhTV City becomes bustling to serve the needs of people for sowing earth flowers and ornamental plants.
In TayNinhTV City, there are many flower shops and perennial ornamental flower shops. This is also a place where people regularly buy and sell flowers and ornamental plants. Each flower pot costs from several tens of thousands to several million Vietnam dong per pot. Flower shops serve on year-round, but the Lunar New Year flower crop is always the most anticipated by gardeners. As that approaches, many people start choosing flowers and ornamental plants with the wish for a new year of good health, fortune, and luck. Each person has their own style of choosing flowers and ornamental plants that suit themselves to decorate their home and workplace. Currently, I choose some plants with large leaves because the weather in TayNinhTV is quite hot. I prioritize plants with large leaves. This day, the number of customers buying flowers and ornamental plants increased compared to normal days. To meet consumer needs, gardeners and flower and ornamental plants businesses have imported many types of flowers. In addition, there are ornamental plants such as bright-colored bougainvillea, ornamental kumquat trees, and orchids to serve the flower-playing needs of people. This year date is also worse than usual. I sell flowers for all four seasons, but I mainly specialize in orchids. This year weather is unusual, so growing dead flowers is also more difficult. In addition to taking care of plants according to its state of development, it is necessary to adjust the lighting, watering, and nutrition regimes to suit weather. However, with the preparation of experienced gardeners and flower and ornamental plant businesses, plus the spring flower markets brought by traders, then people will have many choices of flowers and ornamental plants, perfect to display during dates, making spring more joyful and colorful.
The audience in the Lunar New Year's of the Dragon in 2024, whether you belong to a poor household, a disadvantaged group, or a household in difficult circumstances, everyone will still have a warm day. Through the advocacies of the Fatherland Front Committee as on level of TayNinhTV province, the corporations of the Party Committee and local authorities in the province, especially the support from sponsors, everyone gets a gift in the Lunar New Year's.
According to information from TayNinhTV Association for the Support of People with Disabilities and Protection of Children's Rights, just entering the first day of 2024, the Provincial Association has received support for debt gifts from sponsors and benefactors, centers, and charitable organizations inside and outside the province. This shows that the tradition of good leaves, covered on leaves, is always in the hearts of every Vietnamese, especially when that comes. Immediately upon receiving the debt gift support, the Provincial Association implements a plan to take care of debts for the beneficiaries, allocate schedule and contact localities to organize hand delivery to beneficiaries, ensuring that this Lunar New Year are present in 2024. Everyone gets a gift in this Lunar New Year. The gifts given are usually food, dead case and cash, demonstrating the whole society's concern for the vulnerable. The whole society joining hands to take care of debt for the poor. Don't leave anyone behind. Among a series of debt gift-giving sessions of the Provincial Association, most recently in Washington City, Ms. Lâm Ngọc Đảnh, Vice Chairwoman of the Association for the Support of People with Disabilities and Protection of Children's Rights, gave 100 debt gifts for households of people with disabilities, orphans and lonely elderly people. Funding for this gift giving is from the Disabled People's Association of Chiang Lâm Gò Kén, Pagoda, which mobilized Buddhists everywhere to contribute. This year, although businesses are facing difficulties, the number of sponsors who are regularly attached to the association still accompany and takes care of debt for the beneficiaries very well. The total number of gifts that the Provincial Association mobilized to give during this 2024 Dragon Festival is more than 4,000 gifts. Along with party committees at town levels, local authorities and sponsors joining hands to take care of debts for the poor, dignitaries of religious organizations also volunteer, donating food, offer cakes and gems, and cash support to help people celebrate the New Year. I realized that charity work is very good, so I distribute gifts to the people here and cook charity meals with 2,400 lunch boxes per month. Tân Biên District Armed Force and Company 105 of the district are also placed of lift operations for the pagoda. Every time, the company receives troops and sends them off to complete their duty. The temple also cooks for the soldiers. When that comes, the pagoda also gives cash, rice, sticky rice, and green beans to help the soldiers wrap cakes for the soldiers to have a happy death. The flow of love has wrapped into every corner and village of TayNinhTV homeland, helping to raise the spirit of rich solidarity, bringing bustling laughter to every home in New Year 2024. This day, everyone has gifts. Police units in districts, towns and cities have mobilized maximum forces, vehicles and technical equipment, deploying serious and drastic working measures. In particular, brightly analyze, evaluate, identify and accurately forecast emerging situations related to crime prevention and ensuring security and order in its area and field of responsibility. The Criminal Police Force reviews specialized areas to identify emerging groups and criminal gangs and suspicions of criminal activities in order to rightly plan to focus on crime suppressions. The police force has focused on suppressing many gangs, arresting and handling many groups of gamblers, lending money to buy and sell firecrackers. At the end of the year and the Lunar New Year, on times of crimes, especially property theft, also increased their activities, and cases of intentional injury due to conflicts related to black credit and higher debt collection also increased. When people go to roadtake areas, they should proactively protect their property. People should not participate in local and family gambling organizations, causing disorder and unsafety. When death comes, many people organize parties to celebrate it. In organizing such parties, we count on people to exercise utmost restraint when drinking and being hot-tempered, scuffle, causing cases of intentional and even serious injury, even leading to death. At the end of the year, people's travel demand also increased. To ensure traffic order and safety during that, the provincial police have also implemented many measures and solutions to reduce traffic accidents on criteria. In addition, to ensure fire safety during the Lunar New Year, the Fire Prevention and Rescue Police Department of the Provincial Police has proactively promoted propaganda, increased inspection and guidance on fire prevention and control, and promptly resolve the causes of unsafe fire rotation in the area to minimize the risk of fire and explosion causing fatal consequences. Police units in districts, towns, and cities have ensured the readiness of communications, weapons, and vehicles ready to serve combat work, ensuring absolute safety for officers and soldiers on duty. Continue to participate in crime prevention and efforts to ensure security and order to help people welcome Tet and enjoy spring safely.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.